All right, welcome. Today we're going to dig into a really fascinating, though brief, source that makes a pretty bold claim about gaining a mental edge in golf. Let's see what it's all about. It's a question every single golfer, from the weekend warrior to the seasoned pro, has probably asked themselves. You can have a picture-perfect swing, but just one bad thought, one tiny moment of doubt, and it can send your entire round completely sideways. The mental game, it's just everything. So what if you could train your mind just like you train your swing? The source material we're diving into today really zeroes in on one specific method for getting that mental edge: hypnosis. It's a very short piece, for sure, but it makes a direct and, frankly, powerful claim about performance. So how does this source back up its claim? Well, it doesn't use a bunch of complex studies or data sets. Instead, it relies on one of the oldest forms of proof there is: a personal story. And what's really kind of interesting here is that the entire argument, the whole thing, hangs on this one single testimonial. This is presented as the core evidence. Let's just let that sink in for a second. Dropped almost 2 shots and more confident and at ease than ever before. I mean, these are not small claims. This is a statement about a significant, maybe even life-changing improvement on the course. On the surface, it's just a glowing review, right? But if we unpack it a little bit, it actually reveals 2 very distinct claims. One is about the score, and the other is about the mindset. So let's break those down. And this, right here, is the key. On one side, we have a hard number, a measurable change in the score. And on the other side, we have a description of an internal psychological shift. What the source is implying is that these 2 things are directly connected. Okay, first, let's look at the numbers. Because in golf, let's be honest, the score is the ultimate measure of performance. So the claim is almost 2 shots. For any golfer out there, you know that dropping 2 full strokes from your average score is a massive, massive achievement. This isn't just about having one good day. This suggests a fundamental, consistent improvement in your ability. That's a total game changer. And this is really the crucial point here. The testimonial isn't just about feeling better. The source is claiming a tangible, real-world result that you can actually track on a scorecard. This is the what, the quantifiable outcome. All right, now let's look at the other side of the coin. The testimonial doesn't just give us the result, it also gives us a potential reason why it happened. See, this part of the quote describes the internal experience. Confidence, well, that's the fuel for great shots. And being at ease is the perfect antidote to that pressure and anxiety that cause so many mistakes. This is the mental foundation for that 2-shot improvement. This really gets to the heart of what every athlete is chasing, right? That state of flow where you're free from worry and can just perform. Being at ease on a golf course, especially during a competitive round, is basically the holy grail of the mental game. So who exactly is this message for? The source material actually gives us a couple of interesting clues that point to a surprisingly wide audience. On one hand, the context of Orlando Hypnosis Center reviews makes it sound like this could be for any local amateur just looking to improve their weekend game. But then you get this really specific tag, college golfer. Now, that points directly to a high-level, serious athlete who is playing under some intense pressure. The source seems to imply this method could work for both. So after breaking down this single testimonial, what's the core message we're really left with? What's the takeaway here? Well, the core message is simple, but it's also incredibly powerful. A change in mindset, feeling more confident and at ease, is presented as the direct cause of a huge, measurable improvement in performance. It argues that to fix your scorecard, you might first have to fix what's going on in your head. Look, while the evidence from this source is just a single testimonial, it does raise a critical question for anyone who's trying to improve in any field, not just golf. It really forces us to ask, where do our biggest improvements actually come from? And what are we doing to cultivate our own mental edge?